plus Shrugged. Quotes and thoughts. Page 410. Reardon did not think that Francisco could have heard it, but he saw Francisco turning to them with a gravely courteous smile. So, you think that money is the root of all evil? Said Francisco d'Anconia. Have you ever asked what is the root of money? Money is a tool of exchange, which can't exist unless there are goods produced and men able to produce them. Money is the material shape of the principle that men who wish to deal with one another must deal by trade and give value for value. Money is not the tool of the moochers who claim your product by tears, or of the looters who take it from you by force. Money is made possible only by the men who produce. Is this what you consider evil? Beautiful, beautiful, very beautiful. I heard negative ideas and opinions, negative opinions about money from my childhood. Once or twice, I remember my father said, "Money is dirt on the hands of the men." In Armenian. In Armenian, it sounded like "փողը ձեռի կեղտա." So money is dirt on your hands. That was the idea, yeah. So that's one thing I remember from my childhood regarding money and how bad money is. And I remember even now we have lots of online memes and people who claim that you cannot buy happiness with money, you cannot love with money, and they just try to devalue the concept of money, as if money cannot give you all the essential or the most important things in your life, which is romantic and illogical if you just judge and think of it consciously and reasonably. You will see and agree that money is very useful and very practical, and it helps you solve most of your problems. I think there is too much shade on this side. Shall I maybe try to have it this way? Yeah, maybe, hopefully a little better. My iPhone. So I think of this famous for some people that is maybe debatable. So Maslow, he was a researcher, and there is this thing called Maslow's pyramid. And that pyramid is the pyramid of the needs of the human being. The base of the pyramid covers the very basic needs that are very important for the survival of the human being. It's about water, food, shelter, and security. So it's like physiological needs for allowing you to survive. That's the base of the pyramid. Then we have the second layer of the pyramid, which is more about safety and security, like shelter, for instance. Something that is not directly about your immediate survival, but still it is to protect against the sun, against the elements of the nature. That's also important. We have a little calibre. Look at that. Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, I showed the calibre to the folks on YouTube. Now, the sun, the wind, when it's too cold, when it's too hot, it can harm you if you are not safe. Like slowly, still, it can threaten your security. It can lead to your uh, death if you are not careful. So still, the second layer is about survival in the long run, safety, security. And then the third layer is about job, self-realization in, we could say maybe in the realm of career and society. And then the top of the pyramid is your self-actualization, like introspection. Who am I? Why am I living? What's the purpose or goal of my life? That's the last part of the pyramid. So that's more mental. Some people would call it spiritual. It's about your purpose. And so the pyramid tries to encompass all the needs of every human being, every mentally stable human being who has no issues. We all have to take care of those needs. The needs for water, food, shelter, relationships, like the third layer, the one that's about career. It's also about relationships, about forming healthy relationships with other people. So any human being has to go through all of this. And with money, you take care of most of this. Like with money, you can buy yourself food, water, you can pay your bills and rent something or even buy some property, depending on how much money you have or you make, right? And also with money, you can also meet new people. Like we have so many interesting services like Meetup. Yeah, you subscribe and you can discover events, and you need money to drive or walk. Well, for walking, you need shoes, so still money for buying those shoes. And you can meet new people through paid websites or through organizing events yourself. And for organizing events yourself, you still need money to buy some stuff or to rent some space or to pay for your Wi-Fi and advertise all of that online, etc. So money helps you a lot, even with making a family. Like if you are really going to create a family, you will need money for that. For the wedding, if you decide to do one, or for your kids, if you're going to have kids, for your spouse, if you have to take care of yourself, finding food and stuff, and then when you marry, you need to take care of the needs of your partner as well, right? So still money. And so money can be very, very helpful in solving all your problems, including friendships, intimacy, love, family. You need to question, like whenever someone tries to preach that money is not important, you need to ask yourself questions. What's the motivation of the person? Why is that person saying that money isn't good? And you need to question all those opinions. Is it so? Why? How? Or why not? Etc. And then the very quote, Francisco d'Anconia, who says, have you ever asked what is the root of money? So money is an invention, yes? So the root of money is the human mind, actually. Where does the concept of money come from? It comes from the mind of human beings, right? So it's an invention, it's a mental concept. And when people say money is the root of all cause, well, you could go to the root, and some people would say, oh yes, human is the root of all evil. Money comes from humans, and humans are the root of all evil. Or the mind, the creative, analytical, reasonable mind is the root of all evil. Hello, Suleiman. And this is actually, when you go down that road, you discover that those people who condemn money, they actually condemn the mind, the creative force within every healthy and free human being. And money is super useful. Before inventing money, people would exchange through other items, like they would use iron rods in ancient Greece. They would use shells in some cultures, or beads, pearls from the sea, even animal bones. And it was much less convenient. Or metallic coins, when you have only those coins and you have those coins in sacks all the time, it's pretty heavy. So anyway, but still, money is a very useful invention. It makes our lives much more comfortable. And as Francisco d'Anconia points out, money is not. Oh, thank you for the thumbs up on YouTube. I encourage others to do the same. And on TikTok, you can tap on the screen. Yes, Suleiman, I speak Russian, but this live is in English, okay? I have another channel where I go live in Russian, okay? So, yes, if you are a moocher, like, oh, please, give me money, or if you are a looter, hey, give me money or I shoot you, then you don't like the concept of money, you don't like the concept of free, fair trade. But if you're a rational and reasonable human being, and you value freedom, you value civilization, then money is something very useful, very important, and very beautiful to you, okay? All right, next, page 411. So Suleiman, you should learn English. If you don't understand, by the way, I also teach English, so you can find some links on this YouTube channel and learn English with me, okay? To better understand what we are covering. Those of you who join me right now, I'm reading Ayn Rand, Atlas Shrugged. I'm reading some quotes, and then I'm sharing some thoughts on the material, okay? Next, it's still Francisco speaking. It is not the strength of guns or muscles. Wealth is the product of man's capacity to think. Then is money made by the man who invents a motor at the expense of those who did not invent it? Is money made by the intelligent at the expense of the fools? By the able at the expense of the incompetent? By the ambitious at the expense of the lazy? Money is made before it can be looted or mooched, made by the effort of every honest man, each to the extent of his ability. An honest man is one who knows that he can't consume more than he has produced. And this is about the economy as well, and what's happening across the globe and here in the US as well. State budgeting and also your own means. You have to know how economy works, and if you're reasonable, if you learn and if you understand very basic things, you should think around these questions and you should come up with your own conclusions. Often the collectivists, especially left-wing collectivists like socialists, communists, etc., they blame the rich for being rich. They say, oh, all that money is stolen from the poor. But money is produced, and money is produced by reasonable, rational, able human beings, right? So before money could be taken away, including by Marxists, communists, socialists for redistribution, money is produced, money is made. And it is made by reasonable, free human beings who strive for living as humans, who want to not just survive on this planet, who aim at thriving. So this code is about that. And if you're an honest human being, you need to strive to produce more than you spend. And if you have this paradigm, the quality of your life will be better. You will not sink into debt, okay? And you will not disrupt the economy through burdening it with your own needs and problems. And for this, we need a lot of knowledge, we need consciousness, we need goodwill, and we need probably lives like this, and education, a lot of education, so that more people understand this concept and how all of this works. Okay, on the same page, from the same Mr. Danconia, but money is only a tool. It will take you wherever you wish, but it will not replace you as the driver. It will give you the means for the satisfaction of your desires, but it will not provide you with desires. Money is the scourge of the men who attempt to reverse the law of causality, the men who seek to replace the mind by seizing the products of the mind. So beautiful. So money is only a tool. Money will give you the means for the satisfaction of your desires, but it will not provide you with desires. In other words, you have to ask yourself very fundamental questions. Who am I? Why? What do I live for? What? Thank you for the likes and hearts, Suleiman. If that's you on YouTube, thank you. And I encourage others to give me thumbs up on YouTube as well, okay? So, money cannot become your reason. You have reason, and you have to think, you have to analyze, you have to introspect. Introspection is a very important skill. Who am I? Why am I living on this planet? What do I want? Oh, thank you for 3 thumbs up on YouTube. That's nice. Thanks a lot. And guys on TikTok, you can tap on the screen as well. Hello, Alexander Astanin. Hi. So yes, in other words, sometimes people make money, but they are still miserable because they do not ask themselves those fundamental questions. What do I need money for? And sometimes when people start making a lot of money, it just kind of derails them because they are not sure what to do with this money. That's why it's very important to invest time and mental effort, vital energy into your personal development. Ask yourself questions, read books, and do exercises in order to form your meaning of life. Why do you live on this planet? What do you want to achieve in your life? What do you want to experience throughout life? Okay? So sometimes we may think in terms of, okay, what do I want to get from life? But I think that might be a bad idea because once life is gone, you are gone. So it's not that you have to think in terms of what do I want to get from life. It's in terms of what do I want to experience through life and build in life as long as I live, okay, throughout my life, as opposed to get something from life, as if life is out there and you are separate from life. That is a dangerous idea, and I had that idea in my mind as well. But now I'm questioning it, and I find it a little wrong. Okay. Now, next quote is from the next page, 412. Still Francisco d'Anconia speaking. So it's a long speech. He's at a party and he's answering some guests, and there is a lot of wisdom and some depth in his answer. Okay. Only the man who does not need it is fit to inherit wealth, the man who would make his own fortune no matter where he started. If an heir is equal to his money, it serves him. If not, it destroys him. But you look on and you cry that money corrupted him. Did it? Or did he corrupt his money? Do not envy a worthless heir. His wealth is not yours, and you would have done no better with it. Do not think that it should have been distributed among you. Loading the world with 50 parasites instead of one would not bring back the dead virtue which was the fortune. Money is a living power that dies without its root. Money will not serve the mind that cannot match it. Is this the reason why you call it evil? Oh gosh. Oh, it's so profound. Ayn Rand, you know? The mind of Ayn Rand was very unique in her ability to go very, very deep and convey some very profound ideas, you know? So sometimes people inherit wealth and they just destroy that wealth. Or sometimes someone can win a lottery. They win the lottery, but then they destroy or they spend it very fast. One of my roommates has a similar story. He got a lot of money, but now he tells me that within like 8 months, most of that money is gone. Tens of thousands of dollars. Okay. So if you cannot match that wealth mentally, intellectually, in terms of your purpose, your reason for being on this planet, not just as a walking body, but as a creator, then you will most likely destroy that wealth too. And you shouldn't be like, oh, I wish I inherited a lot of money, etc. And sometimes we hear very interesting stories, like an old lady passes away, and then they discover that she had a lot of money on her bank account. So she was saving, she was creating that wealth throughout her life, right? So again, wealth is created. It is created by reasonable, honest human beings. Normally, if we don't speak of stealing, robbing, or cheating, right? Usually, normally, wealth is created. Okay? Of course, unfortunately, we have people who, and sometimes civilizations, yeah, who made fortunes through wars, who destroyed and looted entire civilizations. That also exists, but that's the dishonest way of making, or not even making, of stealing someone's capital. Yeah, it's also more or less common. I'm thinking of ancient Romans who conquered ancient Greece, and they even they would sometimes transport walls from ancient Greece into ancient Rome because, you know, of the ornaments of the walls, statues, Greek teachers, and so on. And then something similar happened to Rome when it was conquered by other European civilizations. Or Muslim civilizations regularly did that. They would conquer India and rob the conquered wealthy civilizations and cities. They would conquer Egypt or other Middle Eastern civilizations, and they would just rob all of that. So looting is unfortunately common too. But now the question is, do you want to live as an honest man and build your own wealth that will remain? Do you want to build legacy, or do you want to cheat and fool? And then cheating will have its consequences as well, right? You may be deprived of your capital. And even civilizations, like when you rob someone, you show your neighbors, you show other civilizations the way. And so the same thing can be done to you as well, right? Even if you're an honest civilization, of course, you can be attacked. This is why in the philosophy of objectivism, we admit that army, the police, the court systems, a form of government is important. Objectivism is not anarchistic in its nature, right? But if you want to live as an honest being, and if you want to build your own well-being, prosperity, and you want it to be sound and reliable in the long run, you'd be interested in choosing an honest way of production of wealth through your career, through your work, through your intelligence, and so on. All right. Yes, and then when you accumulate wealth, that wealth will serve you, as opposed to you being corrupted by that wealth. And the question is, you look on and you cry that money corrupted him. Did it, or did he corrupt his money? What an interesting question, right? So, sometimes people, like a homeless person, they can be given an apartment or a place for living, and they can defile that space, right? You enter the space and you see all those bottles, cigarette butts, graffiti on the wall, etc. So, does that mean that the house corrupted that person, or the person was kind of corrupted and they defile the space through their own presence in that space? So, similarly, wealth and money can be defiled by someone who doesn't care about money, who is very ignorant, or who chooses that form of existence on this planet, which is about mooching or looting, which is about destruction as opposed to creation. All right, and the last quote of the day from the same page, 412, from the same speech, okay? Or did you say it's the love of money that's the root of all evil? To love a thing is to know and love its nature. To love money is to know and love the fact that money is the creation of the best power within you, and your passkey to trade your effort for the effort of the best among men. It's the person who would sell his soul for a nickel who is loudest in proclaiming his hatred of money, and he has good reason to hate it. The lovers of money are willing to work for it. They know they are able to deserve it. It's just, there is some form of poetry in these lines also, very beautiful, very even self-explanatory. So I don't want to comment much around this quote. But what I will say is that in objectivism is the philosophy that was conceived by Ayn Rand, the author of Atlas Shrugged. Okay, there she is. So in the philosophy of objectivism, tradesman is the best type of human being you would like to strive to be. And you can be a tradesman in any occupation. It's not about just trading in a market or being a business person. Like, I'm a private tutor, but I also trade my skills, my ability, my time with my students, right? So I give them something they want and I get from them something I want. I give them my knowledge and time and they give me money or something else, right? If it's bartering. Recently, for instance, there's this mafia club in Glendale, and this lady invited me there, but it's like she asks for $50 per evening, and I told her, how about me giving you a lesson of English, and you make let's extract that 1 hour from that $50. I charge $35 per hour, and she said, okay, that's fine, we can barter and you can come and play, and I will take an hour long lesson from you. So I paid her $15, and this week we will have a lesson with her, so that the trade is finalized, because I already played in her club in Glendale, and now it's my turn to give her back the part of the deal. She will choose the date herself. So that's bartering, and that works fine. So it's about trade. It's about an honest trade or deal between two or more parties. you give someone something. Like, I wanted entertainment, I wanted to meet some new people here in LA, and so I got that from that evening. And she wants to improve her English, so she will get something from me, and I already got something from her. That's also trade. That's a business relationship, yeah, a business transaction between two sides. So, in the philosophy of objectivism, being a business person is the best thing to be, because you choose honesty, you choose integrity, you choose creativity. Like, you exchange values, something that is of value to you, like you obtain that and you give the other side something that is of value to them. And that's so beautiful, so creative. It's so fulfilling, holistic, because after because you feel good, you feel safe, you feel good about it, you know that everything was done in an honest way, and there is no fear, there is no worry. When you are looting or you are mooching, you still may have this sense of guilt or sense of discomfort or hatred for the other person who gave you something out of pity, or who was robbed by you by force or threats. So honest exchange is much more preferable, because it's holistic. It's I would maybe even say it's holy, holy in the meaning of pure, clean, beautiful. Okay, and thank you to the third person on YouTube that gave me thumbs up. I encourage others to do the same. Give me thumbs up on YouTube, and on TikTok you can tap on the screen. So being an honest tradesperson is the best choice. Like, you can be a programmer, a teacher, a nurse, but as long as you choose to exchange values, like money is of value to you, so you exchange or trade your time for money, and both parties know what's going to happen. Everything is negotiated, and everything is known to both parties. So that's the most beautiful, the most holistic type of relationship between humans. Similarly, if you think of relationships as a trade person, your relationship will most probably much more fulfilling, much more long term and reliable and stronger if you negotiate everything, if you talk about the problems, if you ask the other person what are their expectations, if you understand how human emotions work, how love can just fade away over time, and so on. So, being a tradesperson, being a rational human being who approaches life through reason, is in your best interest, because it makes your own experience much more, much cleaner, much more understandable, much more kind of predictive or creative. Like, you understand, even if you experiment with things, even if you're not sure, even if you fail, you understand what will the outcome be, either positive or negative. And reason and choosing to trade, as opposed to choosing to trick or fool or coerce, is the best choice you can make in your life. Another alternative to that could be choosing to be a sacrificial animal, as we say it in objectivism, choosing to sacrifice your own values, your own desires to for the sake of others. Some people claim that it gives them fulfillment as well. I lived that way for a while, and my approach was my motivation was to shine like the sun on the faces of anyone that came across me. And I was sort of abused also, not in the physical sense of the word, but when you are an altruist, when the needs of others are above your needs, it means that you are making yourself very vulnerable and open to all sorts of people, including people who may exploit you, who may use you for their own ends, and those ends can be also dishonest. Okay. Um, More specifically, for instance, I, in the past, when I was an altruist, I produced an essay and a speech for someone who was participating in an international contest, and he lied to the organizers. He told them that the speech and the essay, and those were for two separate projects, were his own. And he shared that with me. He said that he wants me to produce an essay for him, and he would use that in an international contest. And I was like, it's not my business as an altruist. Like, this person came to me, and this person seeks my help, and I will help this person. That was my altruism. I was saying I need to just help the person because the person came to me. So altruism can lead to bad places, like in nationalism, when masses of people are blindly worshipping their leader and they are ready to take any kind of order, including very bad orders. They are ready to annihilate the enemy, even if the enemy did not attack their own country, like Russia versus Ukraine. Lots of Russians, it's not about only Putin, right? Hundreds of thousands of Russians who destroy, rape, and kill Ukrainians in Ukraine. So, altruism and devotion, religious or emotional or philosophical devotion to something, this irrational form of existence can be very, very destructive for the person and for entire civilizations. This is why reason and trading in an honest way is the best choice. Okay, this will be it for today. Thank you to the folks on YouTube who gave me thumbs up. I encourage everyone to do that. And on TikTok as well. TikTok is almost dead, so I'm not sure. But yes, that's it. Thank you. Subscribe, okay? And see you next time.